Clayton Keller, St. Louis Blues. Roll the intro.
You're Locked On Coyotes, your daily podcast on the Arizona Coyotes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Locked On Coyotes, #1 daily podcast on the Arizona Coyotes. I'm your host, Robyn Leon, alongside Matthew Jacobson. I want to thank everyone for making this show your first listen every day. We are free and available everywhere you get your podcast, including on YouTube, the SiriusXM radio app, and ad-free on Amazon Music. We got a great show on today's episode. We are going to talk about the Arizona Coyotes versus the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis, of course, hometown to, Coyotes' own Clayton Keller. So let's get into it, Matthew, as we break down this
name like that, like Clayton Keller.
I have no idea.
Did I hear that right, or is that?
Honestly, I have no idea why that came out that way, but
Clayton Keller. All right. Yeah, howdy, Montana on your boochies coming to play. Yeah!
I have no idea.
You can't give me ammo. That's your own mistake.
That is my mistake. But you know what? I'll own it. Let's get into it, though. Your initial thoughts on this matchup?
The Blues suck. The Coyotes own them. I was there for that. Was it the 2021 shortened season when it was literally a playoff series in the middle of the season? Like, we own you.
That was the weirdest series. That was the weirdest series ever because it was a COVID related reason, right? Because like other teams had COVID.
Yes, it was the
other teams in the NHL had COVID, but the Blues and the Coyotes were like immune that week. So like, you know what? Yotes versus Blues. A full freaking 7-game series. Like 7 games.
Won, by the way.
And the Coyotes did win. Was it 5 games? Right? The Coyotes won 5 of those games?
I think it was 4. I think they relented a little bit. But it's like it was just funny because that was when I was doing a lot of live streams with like Blues fans. And one of the quotes was, "I'm tired of seeing the Coyotes. I don't want to play the Coyotes anymore." And
I mean,
it was a weird time.
I mean, let's put it this way. I was just beginning as host of Locked On Coyotes then. Feels like forever ago.
Oh my God, I don't like how much time has passed.
And
midlife crisis!
I remember when going through that month when I'm just like, and they're time to talk about the St. Louis Blues again. Let's see how I can break this one down. Is it going to be any different? What players are going to be different? And I was like, I got so tired by the 7th game. I was like, all right, you guys know the deal. Let's just kind of talk about what I saw. And when he finally played, I think it was the Wild or the Avalanche next, and I was like, we had a crossover show, and I was like, thank God I'm not talking about the Blues. But we're back to it though. Back to talking about the Blues because you know what? Coyotes are better.
Yeah, no, they are. They are. I'm friends with a lot of Blues fans, but like Coyotes better. Like it's even just look at the numbers. I got the numbers in front of me. The Blues are, what is that? 1-0-1. They're just coming off of the win against Seattle, and their goals against per game is only 1. The Coyotes, it's 2. The goals for per game is exactly 1. The Coyotes 1.33. The Coyotes going through a little bit of struggles over the last couple of games to score. And I was thinking, what better team to get the scoring up against? But if you're going against controversial goaltender Jordan Binnington, the 1-0-1 record, 0.92 goals against, and a 969. Nice save percentage. That the Coyotes are anything I said about Igor, about Sorokin. Anything I said about any of the goalies, just copy paste that here. You're going to have to get to them quickly. But if you take advantage of St. Louis's scoring struggles, I think the Coyotes have a better overall offense. The leading scorer is Kyrou with 1 goal. 1 total point. Vrana has 1 total assist. It's all ones. It is all literally ones.
Well,
Now it's only 2 games into the season
let's
for them.
remember this. Those games were both of those games that the Blues played were shootout games.
Yep.
Both their first games ended in a shootout. Only the Coyotes' first game went to a shootout in which they actually won that, and that was even a higher scoring game. That was 4-3. And then the Coyotes' next couple of games, the ones in New York against better New York teams, were lower scoring. Now we're going against a, low mid-tier Central Division team. No, I won't say low. I'll just say mid-tier. Low mid-tier maybe might be like, just being too much. I'll just say mid-tier. It's fair.
I would just call them bad because it's funny.
Mid.
Bad.
That's it. Just mid.
Trash. Garbaggio. I'm just playing. If any of the Blues fans still follow me, you guys know I got a soft spot for y'all. But no, seriously, the Blues are a team that I'm not entirely sure what their direction is right now. Same thing with like Winnipeg and Nashville. I will never buy into Dallas. There's a lot of Central Division teams that I'm like, oh, the Coyotes can be on the same level as or better, depending on. So I think they should have a good opportunity to win here. They also, over the last, I think it's 10 matchups, Craig Morgan had that stat up earlier, that the Coyotes have a winning record in St. Louis. They tend to play really well there, and one Clayton Keller also tends to play very well whenever he goes back home to St. Louis. So it's just kind of like one of those games where I actually do feel confident you can circle the win on this one. That's just me, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to be the one, and a lot of those that listen every day know exactly what I'm talking about, or have been listening for a long time, I should say. Would make fun of this of another saying in which this is like, I'm never going to say a game is a gimme game, because that is a recipe for disaster. I mean, as a podcast host, yeah, sure, I can say that, but I don't want to eat my own words. So no game is ever a gimme game. However, the Coyotes have all the tools that they need, and based off of what history shows us, that they will end up likely being able to win this game, which, and again, with their increased talent this year, I would only think even more so.
You see, that's where you're a little wrong here, Robyn. You can't be afraid to eat your own words. The entire point of having fun, being a loudmouth, obnoxious jackwagon, is to say some of the dumbest things you can come up with that are somewhat plausible and have a good time.
Now,
you gotta eat some words. You gotta eat some words. It is what it is.
I am going. You know what? I am going to bring it up because I said it. One of the times a couple years ago when it was Coyotes versus Devils, in which the crossover host I was with said this is a gimme game for the Devils, and I'm like, I wouldn't say so. When it came to the bet, I still gave the win to the Devils. However, I gave the Coyotes the points on my betting prediction. I was like, don't sleep on the Coyotes. They might surprise you. The score ended up being like, 5-1 Coyotes. And I was like, give me game. What?
The amount of times someone has said, oh, this is what AZ Sports Guy said. That doesn't happen. No one pays attention to me. But I've been wrong before, and guess what? It is what it is, because you got to speak your mind. Whether or not you are correct or incorrect, it's rolling with the punches. Come on, Robyn. St. Louis sucks. 6-2 Coyotes. Kyrou is the only goal scorer for the Blues. That's my official take, and I will stand by that. And when I am inevitably wrong and people go back to click on this video just to comment, you are welcome, YouTube algorithm. That is how you get engagement.
Anyways, we're going to continue talking about the Arizona Coyotes versus the St. Louis Blues. We're going to get to our keys to the game. All of that coming up right after this. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get a $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. This app is super easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options from spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I know I'm a fan of sports betting. FanDuel has always been my place to check for all those odds, and where it's our favorite place to show you our odds for upcoming games on game day, including the game day today. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. All right, Matthew, let's get to our keys to the game. And then we'll get back to a little bit more breakdown of the game itself. What do you have? Let's start off, kind of maybe break it down. Let's try to see if we can do a little more slowly on this one. Mm-hmm. But key number one, what is your first key that the Coyotes need to focus on to beat the Blues?
Am I allowed to curse?
No.
Am I allowed to curse hardcore?
Absolutely not.
Shoot the gosh darn puck. Shoot it. Just shoot. You have a lane, shoot the puck. I don't care if it bounces off someone's testicles. I don't care if it bounces off someone's chin. You have a lane, shoot the damn puck. Because 6 shots in 40 minutes was embarrassing. People want to talk about the arena. They want to talk about playing a mullet. They want to talk about the little contest with Glendale. Sure. But you know what's actually embarrassing? 6 shots against the Islanders. Shoot the gosh darn dang nabbit flippity gibbet puck.
You're right, though. Absolutely. Shooting the puck is the most important thing because you just cannot have a repeat of the Isles game. Mm-hmm. You just cannot have a repeat of that because that was atrocious. That was embarrassing. That was, bag over my head embarrassing.
That's just another day as a Coyotes fan embarrassing. I'm allowed to say that.
And to be honest, Matthew, I thought we were past those days. So
it's a very Louis Eriksson kind of game. It was very very much a Rick Tocchet team kind of game. Oh, we went out there and hit hard, even though you got outshot by 20 shots. I want to yell. I want to scream.
So shoot the puck. Absolutely.
Shoot the gosh darn puck.
I'm going to put that in quotation marks on our 3 keys graphic that goes up in the morning.
I'm going to make a shirt. I'm just gonna make a shirt. Shoot the gosh darn puck. It's gonna be the outline of a fat guy, just like this.
It's gonna say shoot the gosh darn puck, flippity flab something, or whatever you whatever,
shoot
whatever
the gosh darn dang nabbit flippity gibbet puck.
There you go. And all right. Key number 2.
Special teams. I don't know if you knew this. This is why I love having these little game notes beforehand. The Coyotes' penalty kill is 30th in the league, 63.6%. Yes, we are just 3 games in, but we are going to start noticing trends relatively soon. So I want to get ahead on this one. Kill off a couple penalties, take a couple less penalties, so it's only like 0 for 2 St. Louis can be on the power play for this game. And if you want to extend it to special teams, while their power play is technically 13th in the league, going against St. Louis, who is tied for 28th, tied for whatever, because they're 0% on their power play. That just kind of gets tied back into shooting the dang puck. So I want to focus on that penalty kill. Just you need to get out of the lower third of the league. That is not good enough. Yes, 3 games in, trends start right around the 3 to 5 game mark. Don't let this become that trend.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And special teams has always been an issue. I've kind of always going back and forth. I was hopeful not this past offseason, but the previous offseason when the Coyotes hired John Madden as an assistant coach. I was like, oh, this might be a turnaround point for their special teams. And it wasn't. Well, the first couple games it looked all right, and then after that it was like, oh wait, it's right, this team sucks.
This team sucks. Robyn Leonio, 2023. That's going on a hat.
There we go. So, and if we don't want it to be a continuing trend, because like you're right, if they continue that way, it's just not going to keep. It's just going to continue that way, if you know what I mean, right? If we let it continue, it's gonna keep happening. They have to turn that. They have to turn it around. They have to figure out a system on the power play or just on special teams in general that will work.
Yeah, and the thing is, they had, I think, one shorthanded goal or a couple of really good shorthanded chances. I'm old; little things are starting to slip my memory. But the offensive potential of their penalty kill was looking pretty solid. But the raw numbers of penalty kill is not getting it done. It's not good enough. So focusing on that, making that and the power play, just special teams in general. John Madden's going to get his new contract and his paycheck tested to see if they can right the ship. And again, few games in, but you still got to keep an eye on this. If you just make a couple of those adjustments, shooting the dang puck for one and taking less penalties for the other, they should be fine. But if you keep with the bad habits, they're going to keep giving up a bad amount of goals. And then remember those 5-2 losses we were talking about? They're going to come right back.
Yep.
If you put a team on 5 effing power plays a game.
And not only that, but also if you cannot convert on a full 2-minute length 5-on-3 power play or a double minor.
Both those were unacceptable. All right, the 5-on-3, you need one. Double minor, you need one. I'm not saying perfection. I'm not saying both goals. One. And I think that is relatively standard to expect when you have a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes or 4 minutes of power play time consecutively.
A 5-on-3 for 2 minutes and not shooting the puck once. Like, there it goes again. It goes back to that first one. Shoot the gosh darn puck.
They are tied together. It's just shoot the gosh darn puck and stop taking penalties.
They go absolutely together. But those are only 2 keys. We still need a third key, Matthew.
Yes, the third key. We need our savior to stop assisting the puck and start scoring. Logan Cooley is a point-per-game player, 3 assists so far in his first 3 games, though I do believe he went the entire team went scoreless against the Islanders. I got a little confused, like we were talking about after the Rangers game. My apologies, recentering myself here. But as a point-per-game player, that's nice. I want that first NHL goal, and I was talking to a couple of people at the arena today about it, and apparently Cooley, whether this was a second period shot that I missed or because of how much he is passing, kind of like Keller is right now, it feels like he's not getting the opportunities he should. He's had a couple solid chances and lanes to shoot, to put the puck home, and did not do so. You know you're better than that. You know what you're doing offensively. Shoot the dang puck. Arrive. Get your first NHL goal out from under you. I don't know if maybe that's part of the reason why he's a little too pass heavy right now. Get your first NHL goal and let the rest take care of itself for a 32-goal season.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to continue, though, this episode of Locked On Coyotes. We're going to talk about and get to our predictions and our picks of the game, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, a quick word from our sponsors.
And today is sponsored by Jase Medical. Everyone should be empowered to care for themselves and their loved ones during the unexpected. That's why Jase Medical offers the Jase Case. The Jase Case provides 5 life-saving antibiotics for emergency use and gives you peace of mind, so you're not just hoping you have access to medication in an emergency. Jase Medical makes sure you have the medication in hand. Jase Medical is simple. They handle everything from online evaluations to licensed pharmacy medication delivery and ongoing consultation and care. Don't get caught unprepared. Get $20 off these life-saving antibiotics today with Jase Medical by using the code LOCKEDON at checkout on jasemedical.com. That's JASE medical.com.
Thanks again, everyone, for making this show your first listen every day. Just a reminder, we are free and available everywhere you get your podcast, and you can be sure to check out today's game if you want to listen to on the radio on Sirius XM Radio. It is on it's on the SXM app. Just search up Coyotes, and if you follow us on X, we will provide the channels, the specific channels it will be on. If you are a Sirius XM subscriber. But back to previewing the game today, Matthew. Before I get to the picks of the game and our predictions, I want to add one more thing that I almost forgot about that I kind of want to take another look at because, it's important to mention, right, that Bill Armstrong, the current GM of the Arizona Coyotes, for a while was an assistant to Doug Armstrong, GM of the St. Louis Blues. So here we are again. They're not related.
No relation. I'm an idiot. I got that wrong. I assumed when I was first covering this. No relation. Thanks for that opportunity. No relation. I acknowledge that.
Yeah, but so it's gonna be nice to see that again because you're able to see, in a guess somewhat similar way because Bill, I'm pretty sure Bill is taking a lot what he learned under Doug
to bring that cup to the desert.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna happen soon.
2025. Let's maintain.
There we go.
Let's maintain the meme.
There we go. 2025. There we go. Absolutely love it. Anyways, let's get to our picks of the game. Let's show you guys the odds provided by our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook. The Coyotes are underdogs at plus 110. The Blues at minus 132. These are the shortest odds for the Arizona Coyotes so far in the in their games. I think. So we'll see what that looks like for them, and the total points is at 6.5.
I'll take the Coyotes. I'll go under because the Coyotes are going to need to get out of this little goal scoring rut they're in the last couple of games. The Blues are the team to do it against if you can get to Jordan Binnington, who has been very good these first couple of games. So I think they're going to get past it, but it's going to be a little lower scoring than I would expect. Probably 3-1, maybe 4-2. I'll just say 3-1 to have a number. The Coyotes do get the better of Binnington, but it's going to take a little bit. The first goal is going to be a garbage goal. Let's say it goes off a Carcone's skate. Let's have a little fun with it.
There you go. You had pretty much my exact score. I was thinking in my head as you were talking, what score am I going to put out? It's like 3-1 seems fair. Based off of what we know between these two teams, the kind of goaltender that Jordan Binnington is, and just the overall play style between the two teams. A lot of factors was running through my head as you were talking, and I was like, that seems fair. I'm debating if because of that prediction, though, is if I would be willing to go, to put Coyotes on the money line. But I am 100% with you that I feel like the under feels like a sure lock.
Yeah, right now, because you got a spat, you're going against a good goaltender that is playing well right now. It kind of feels illogical to be like, oh yeah, 7-1 finish, Coyotes blow them out. They blow them off the ice, bud.
Fun fact, I was looking it up. Jordan Binnington is actually on very few rosters in fantasy hockey right now. Maybe for some other reasons, but people have their thoughts.
Anyway, anytime score. I like these. I like doing these ones. Let's go with Cooley. He's gonna get his first NHL goal.
Cooley, an anytime score. Do I have the option to see that up? Doesn't have the line for that one yet. It will probably be up on the morning when you guys are all listening to this. But I like that. I like that bet. Cooley is an anytime scorer.
Yeah, because he needs that first NHL goal, and I think it'll all figure itself out.
That definitely makes sense. I'm trying to think of any other, any bonus bet I would put out there.
By
the way,
on how many Jordan Binnington punches are thrown in the game.
There's a little bonus bet just between the show. 15.
How many Jack McBain fights are we gonna see? I feel like the Blues and Coyotes is a pretty good setup for a what do the kids call it? A tizzy? I don't know.
All right, do it. What do you consider fight? Like a little face washings?
They gotta actually drop the gloves. If we're going face washing,
all
it's
right,
probably gonna be 3
all right.
or 4.
So the over under is gonna be placed at a half for that because that's a fair number.
I'll take it all to the over. I think Jack McBain drops the gloves.
I like it. Any final thoughts before we close things off?
Nah.
Felt that. Well, that's going to be it for today's episode of the Lockdown Coyotes podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave a review, like, comment, subscribe if you have yet to already. Once again, we're available everywhere you get your podcasts, including on YouTube, the Sirius XM radio app, and ad-free on Amazon Music. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. We're going to do a little Roadrunner Friday segment, talk about the Tucson Roadrunners, take a look as they're getting ready for their opening weekend. We'll get to that as well. But don't forget to interact with us on social media, though. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/LockedOnCoyotes. On X at LO_Coyotes. I'm personally at Robyn_Leonio. Matthew Jacobson is at the AZ Sports Guy. Interact with us, ask a question you might have. We might answer right back or on a future episode of the Locked On Coyotes podcast. Thanks again, everyone, for listening to today's episode. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Hope you guys are staying healthy. And don't forget to howl on.